Hey, you guys, what's going on? It's your girl. Together we break chains slash two chains. What's up, you guys? I hope everything is going well with you tonight. So, tonight, you guys, we're going to be talking about a very touchy subject, a subject that has caused a lot of issues within America and probably abroad. So, this video, my verbal disclaimer is this video is not intended to harass, to cause harm, to do any type of damage. Whatever damage you can think of, this video is not for that purpose. Okay, so if you have some very strong reservations about the story that I'm about to read, then I suggest you take a woosah. Okay, because this is not what it's about. These videos are only for educational purposes only. Also, it is because I am a reader and I like to share things that I read upon, but I do not have a super strong opinion. It's just that I like to know what's going on in these good old United Snakes of America. So that I got that word from Miss April Showers. So the subject, you read it, I had to spell it different so that I would not trigger other people to say she is starting crap. I'm not trying to start crap, but what I want to do is cause people to listen and to think for themselves. We had a situation where we did a live and politics came into play in a sneaky manner. I don't do politics because certain people will come on your channel and try to talk trash to you, and disrespect you and your guest. And then before you can get a word in, they will disconnect themselves from the stream. That took place yesterday. So I'm not angry, I'm not upset, but when you do things like that, when you come up and start telling me about all your degrees and what you've studied and how this and how that, there's already a red flag, because you should not have to tell people all your credentials before you start talking. What happens is, I'm the type of person, as you are talking, I'm listening to you, and I get my views from listening to you, what I think, not views, but what my thoughts are about you when I listen to you. So you don't have to come up here and throw, I have a degree in Harvard, this, that, and the fourth, fifth, sixth, and I have 20 degrees in Jamaica, and I got 80 degrees in North Dakota. I don't care about any of that. It's the only thing that I care about is that you could hold a conversation without being disrespectful and overly aggressive. And if I say something to you that you disagree with, you should be able to have a very civil conversation with me and not yell and scream and go off and act like, you said something to move the world. No, you did not. You proved that you are not the type of person that could have a civilized conversation. That's all you prove to me. And this is not something that I'm going to do a back and forth on. I spoke my opinion. I'm speaking my opinion, because that conversation, uh, it started off as I thought that this individual was just going to say something. But then when I noticed that she started going in on a certain person, it kind of made me feel weird. And I really didn't want to let that person up, but I wanted to hear the opinion as to why you felt that white people were privileged. If every white person was privileged, then you would not have those homeless little beautiful white kids and their family members. You would not have family members that can only afford to live in rundown homes, trailer parks, living on the streets. You would not have that if white people were privileged. They are not privileged. Everybody goes through the same stuff in every race. So for me to hear people keep throwing that word out is getting to be a little bit redundant. And there's no weight to it, because I can go right now and drive 2 hours, okay, into Los Angeles, and I will see white people, I will see blacks, I will see Latino, I will see Asians, I will see whatever other races out there. I will see them all sleeping on Skid Row. So those people that are on Skid Row, you mean to tell me they are privileged? No, they're not. No, they're not. They're having a hard time just like the rest of us in America. So to keep hearing that same old woe is me bull crap, it gets old. It's very, very old. But with that being said, you guys, I hope that I did not offend anyone, but I just wanted to say, yes, certain people get privileges, but not every single person on this earth gets privileges. So that's one of the things that, even if you're mad and saying shut up together, you don't know what you're talking about, take a drive down on Skid Row and look at the various rainbow of races that are laying out on Skid Row, whether they want to be there or not. It doesn't matter. They're still out there on Skid Row. Okay. So, with that being said, you guys, let's get into this story. And the story that I want to share with you guys first, it is coming from, hold on a second, because the last time I did this, I kind of messed up and I had to start this whole thing over. Okay, so let me see if I can get this right. And first of all, I want to thank you guys for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you because you do not have to be here, but you're here to support me. And I say thank you so, so very much. So let's get into this article right here, and it's the Fair magazine or Fair website. I don't know which one it is, but I've been looking at them and paying attention to them for quite some time. Okay. So at the very top, you can see where they're keeping track of illegal border crossings as of today, and the number just flipped. So these are some of the things that they actually pay attention to when it comes to illegal crossings. And I want to say something about illegal crossings. Everybody, please understand one thing. It is not only the Latino community that is crossing the border illegally. It is not them alone. You have Asians, you have Africans, you have Indians, you have all races of people that are crossing our American borders illegally. And so I don't know why the main focus is on Latinos, maybe because there are a lot of Latinos here illegally, but at the same time, in that crowd, there are other races sneaking in that are not being spoken about. So take your focus off only the Latin Americans, Latin illegals. Stop that. It's not just them. You got people coming from Haiti, all types of different places, Jamaica, and it don't even have to be border crossings. It could be that their visas wore out and they did not renew it, or they did not return to their home country. So you could become illegal in many different forms. It's not just crossing the border. So let's get that out of our head as well. And I think that's why a lot of people are feeling the way that they're feeling. Oh, they're crossing. It's not a physical border. They can take an airplane in and not take that airplane back when it's time to go. And as you can see, the number keeps going up. We're going to check on the numbers from time to time. Okay. So, the physical burden of illegal immigration on the United States taxpayers for the year of 2023, and it says 1.50.7 billion dollars, and this is I believe, total physical cost of illegal immigration on U.S. taxpayers. And I feel like if I were, and I was told this, and I'm going by word of mouth, so they may consider it hearsay, but I was informed when there was a discussion about American people. If you were to go to another country and they would catch you there illegally, there would be no questions. You would get either jailed or thrown out immediately. They wouldn't have cared if you accumulated a house, a car, or anything. You're gone and your stuff gets left behind. So that's not harsh to me because you broke the law. When you cross any border, whether it be American or whatever border it is, you have broken the law and you have to pay the price of breaking the law. So at least, pay attention to that. At the start of 2023, the net cost of illegal immigration for the United States at the federal, state, and local levels was at least 150.7 billion dollars. at the very beginning. Y'all, that's my dogs. Please forgive me if you hear any background noise. Those are my dogs. You know, they want to shake and rattle and roll and bark, and it ain't got nothing to do with them. If they hear another dog, they start barking. And I'm like, you guys are the only dogs I know that's always up in people's business. Didn't you learn anything from me to stay out of folk business? Anyway, Fair arrived at this number by subtracting the tax revenue paid by illegal immigrants. I'm not going to say aliens because I don't like that word. That word is so disgusting to me. Immigrants. Just under $32.32 billion from the gross negative economic impact of illegal immigrants, which leaves 182 billion. My God. In 2017, the estimated net cost of illegal immigrants was approximately 116 billion. In just 5 years, the cost to Americans have increased by nearly $35 billion. So the amount is going up every single time, you guys. So this is why a lot of people are angry, because they feel like, why are we having to foot the bill? Because if we went to their country illegally, we would not get free representation. We would just go straight to the pokey. Okay. um Illegal immigration costs each American taxpayer $1,156 per year, $957 after factoring in taxes paid by illegal immigrants. Each illegal immigrant or U.S. born child of illegal immigrant costs the U.S. annually $8,776. Okay. Evidence shows that taxpayers by illegal immigrants cover only around a sixth of the cost they create at all levels in this country. A large percentage of illegal immigrants who work in the underground economy frequently avoid paying any income tax at all. Many illegal immigrants actually receive a net cash profit through refundable tax credit programs. So, this is the thing that is kind of upsetting the American people, because they're getting all these different things. And I've literally spoken to people that have come to America, and they spoke out of their own mouth. This is not hearsay. And hopefully I'll get to talk to one of them, but I will actually hide their identity because I don't want them to feel like they'll get in trouble. One of them came from Cameroon, and I spoke to them on the phone a couple weeks ago. And the person told me that when they came to America, they gave them all this money to start a business and all other incentives, to stay in America. Um, this person from Cameroon is literally asylum seeker, because they are having a lot of commotion and stuff going on in Cameroon. And so I was like, wow. And the person expressed to me that this is why so many people from all over the world want to come here, because it's like a free ticket. Where we're in our country, we have to work hard for the stuff that we get. But here, the government just give it to us, and like, screw American people. They'll take care of it. They don't mind. And he said they blind and brainwash a lot of people, in America, and American people think that they're doing a good deed. But at the same time, we know better, and we know that the things that we're getting here, we would never accomplish in our countries. So it's almost like, come here and you can live off of the backs of somebody else. That's just the conversation I had. Whether it's true or not, this is the conversation I had, and hopefully I'll be able to do the interview. But the person is kind of scared because they don't want to get in trouble. So I understand that. I don't know it to be true because I've never been in that situation. So it's only hearsay to me. I'm not trying to spread misinformation. This is the information that was given to me from an asylum seeker, period. Okay. So there's no way I'm going to give up his identity. It's not going to happen. And I was glad when he called me from a non-traceable number, one of those internet numbers. So that way the numbers could not be traced back. And I was glad about that. So anyway, let me get off of this story because I wanted to hold on, the number of illegal immigrants in the US. Okay, let me see. I don't I don't see, this is not all that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to go into something else, you guys. And this little puppy that's is scratching and stop it. I'm doing a story. He fits in the palm of my hand. Ouch! And you're serious about crawling up here with me too. Wow. That hurts. Them little teeny nails. I put up a short on how tiny he is, and now when I say he's tiny, you guys. Anyway, um, at the federal, state, and local levels, taxpayers shell out approximately 182 billion to cover the costs incurred from the presence of more than 15.5 million illegal immigrants and about 5.4 million illegal immigrant children, because they're not citizens from what I read earlier. And I don't know what I did with that daggone paper, but I'm going to get off of this because I wanted to go into something else. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not doing this to cause harm to anyone or to stir up any trash or mess. That's not what I'm here for. But let me see. Give me a second because I want to make sure that I bring that down, and I want to bring something else up. You hear me clickety clack, 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 clickety click, click, clack. Y'all, I ain't got no sense. You should know that by now. So let me entertain. No, I ain't Marilyn Monroe either. Let me entertain you. Yeah. Ooh, let me see. Did I hold on, wait a minute. Let me put some boom in it. This may not even work. I'll be mad. Oh, see this thing halfway open. Hold on a second. See, something ain't right, y'all. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. Oh, did I do it too big? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. See, it ain't even working, y'all. It ain't working, y'all. I think I messed it up. I think I messed it up, y'all. So let me go ahead with my other story. Since I messed that screen up, forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Let me see. I need to I love making mistakes because it makes me do better the next time. Let me see. Is this the one? Yep, right, Charm. This the new one. Okay, so let's go here. Taxpayers. And this came out of, let me put the news article up so they don't ding my little butt. This came out the National Review, y'all. The National Review. So let me. Taxpayers to foot 5.6 million bill for illegal immigrants deportation legal defense. And this is what is being reported. It's all over the internet. I'm not spreading misinformation. I'm not bullying. I'm not trying to stir up any drama. I'm not trying to do anything like that whatsoever. Like I said, when I read things that capture my eye, I like to share the information that I found to share with other people. This is not to go out there and start promoting go back to your country. We don't want to do that. Black folk, we hear that enough. So I don't want to hear that. Okay. Anyway, I know it's different, but still. Okay. This is the U.S. Border Patrol agent Carlos Rivera. He guides a illegal immigrant to be processed after attempting to cross the border from Mexico into Sunland Park, New Mexico. And this happened in 2021. So, but this still stands true today. And I'm not trying to hear Elon Musk. I don't want to hear his voice. Anyway, U.S. taxpayers in cities nationwide will pay an estimated 5.6 million towards illegal immigrants legal defense against deportation this year, according to a report released Tuesday by the Immigration Reform Law Institute. And like I said, I've heard stories where if you are an American citizen, I'm not spreading misinformation. I'm allowed to speak on conversations that I've had with people and not be dimmed. Oh, you're spreading misinformation. If somebody has a conversation, YouTube, that's like you having a conversation with me, and one of your workers and I are in a deep conversation. They go and say, well, together we break chains, said this, that, and the other. And you say, well, that's misinformation. It's not misinformation, especially if there are articles and you are saying that it was a conversation. You didn't say the fact is, the truth is, and I stand on that. I never do that because I can't say that. I can only go by what my conversations are. Okay. These are not hate articles. These are not hate videos. Any video that I release like this in the future, I am not promoting any type of attack or anything on anybody. I'm absolutely not. I do not agree with any hate, any prejudice. I don't agree with any of that. I have a right to speak and to tell people stories and to educate and to read articles live, as long as I'm not giving out. I would never give out an address. I would never dox anybody. I would never try to put anybody in harm's way. That is not me. And you got to keep saying that, because YouTube, some people will get in their feelings and try to throw extra stuff in there to mess you up. I'm not that one. I'm not going to sit up here and hate somebody for the color of their skin. I have no right. I have no right to tell people what they should and shouldn't do if it's not, hurting anybody. So I'm just not that person, and I don't want to be getting hit on YouTube for me expressing my own views and opinions, about how I feel. And that's been happening with a lot of people. They say how they feel. Somebody listen to their content, they get in their feelings and they report hate speech, hate crime. No, this is not even about that. This is not even about that. I would not promote hate speech. I would not promote any of that stuff. Oh, I forgot my water. I would not promote any of that stuff. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be a part of it. And if I was in conversations and I found that I was being lured into that, I would definitely be like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm not going to do that. I'm not a part of that. You know, what I do get angry about is when adults mess with children. That's what I get angry about. When adults mess with children, and when a person is downright prejudiced and spits in someone's face or use that famous N word, that is when I will lose my cool. Okay. But other than that, I have no qualms and no issues with anybody out there. Okay. So let me see, you guys. The right the Right Learning nonprofit found that deportation defenses program relied on public funding in 50 jurisdictions, 22 of which work with the Left Learning Vera Institute of Justice. IRLI compiled data from those 22 states and local governments and estimated that taxpayers will foot a 5.6 million bill in 2022 for the program, which includes any initiatives, I hope I said that right, that offer representation or other legal services to non-citizens facing deportation proceedings, typically at reduced or no cost to the defendant, according to the report. So my only issue is this: why are we so fast to represent people that are not supposed to be here in the first place? And you cannot get a free lawyer anywhere in America as an American citizen. You just will not be able to do that unless your best friend, family member, or a husband or wife, cousin, uncle, sister, brother, cousin, God this and God that, are lawyers and don't want to see you get in trouble. That's the only way you'll probably get free representation. But then again, you still might have to give them a little something for their time because they missing out on other stuff. Anyway, let me say something before I go any further. When it comes to public defenders, people, let me explain something to you. I want you guys to stop getting mad and cussing out the public defender, okay? And I'm gonna say the reason why, because I found out through studies. So let's say, and I'm using it for, just an example, okay? You knew, got in trouble, okay? How you knew? And Miss April Showers is the public defender. And Atmos Love Zone is April Shower's boss. And he throws a stack of files on April Shower's desk. And April Showers is supposed to get off at 3 o'clock, but he wants her to read through 75 files um, up till 6:30. Okay. So she has to stop everything she's doing and extend, hey, I have to stay late, something came up. So she got from 3 o'clock to 6:30, 3.5 hours to read 75 files, court case files. And on the top of it is no, not on the top. In the middle of it is you knew. And you knew has to be seen, and you only have 3 hours to go through her file and 75 other people's files. Let's say 15. Let's knock it down to 15 people. Let's not go that extreme. Let's say 15 people, okay? You got to go through 15 people files and bring out the most important information that could either get them off or no, give them a little jail time or let them go free. So I'm sorry if I confused you. Let me say it again. Atmos Love Zone is April Showers' boss. April Showers is a public defender. You knew got in trouble. Uh, April Showers was supposed to get off at 3 o'clock, but Atmos came in with 15 files that needed to be done by 6:30. They're taking their last case at 6:30. April Showers have 3.5 hours to go through 15 files and bring out the most important information that could either give the defendants time served, 1 month in jail, 2 months in jail, community service, or just they get out on a OR, okay, or they just walk free because they didn't do anything wrong. 4 things, okay? So April Showers picks up you news file in the middle, okay? And she's reading, and going and going and going, and she's trying to jot down all the information, and she caught something that she should have jotted down with you knew. She put a post-it on it, and then they said, okay, we need you to come on into court, and the first person is you knew. April Showers is so overwhelmed because they threw all these cases on her. She did not get a chance like a regular lawyer that is paid for to sit down and go through every intricate detail. So a piece of important information that you knew needed to be said was missed by accident, not on purpose, because this was something that was thrown on April Showers at the last minute. So that's what happens with a lot of these public defenders. I lived down the street from a lady that was a public defender, and I asked her, how come people hate public defenders? And she told me they throw all types of cases on us, and we have very little time to skim through. We're not like a regular lawyer, but we have little time to skim through to find out what's going on, and we might miss stuff, and we might have to say, okay, let's come back to court, and I might have still a little bit of time to get through these cases, and it's not like a regular lawyer where I could sit down and go through it in depth. I was like, oh, she said that's not everybody's story, but for the most part, that's what happens. So this reminded me of, that lady that lived down the street from me. That's why I'm telling you guys about public defenders. Even with CPS cases, don't you ever take a free CPS lawyer. Don't take a free CPS doctor, nothing. Pay for your own stuff. You'll have a better outcome, because the lawyer that you pay for, he's going to do it from the rooter to the tutor, where that public defender may have 2 seconds, 3 minutes, whatever it is. But when you do get a public defender, you make sure that whatever is in your file, help them out. Even help your lawyer out. It can help, and it can go a long way. I just wanted to say that because we were talking about legal fees and legal stuff, okay? So I didn't miss anything. I'm not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So let me finish, and I'm going to read this over. Illegal immigrants and other non citizens facing deportation orders do not have a right to legal representation under U.S. law because immigration law is a civil matter, not a criminal one. So, guess what? They are doing things against the law. Okay, it's not a they do not have rights, civil rights. They don't have any civil rights. They don't have any rights, none whatsoever, according to this article. And I am definitely going to go back and research and find out for myself if this is true. Then, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that should not be going on. And maybe that's some of the things that we may need to go out and throw up on the ballots. Okay. Dale L. Wilcox, Executive Director and General Counsel for the IRLI, said the programs are an insult to every law abiding American citizen and legal resident. And I can believe that, because why would I want my tax dollars to pay for them to get a free lawyer when I can't get one if I get into any type of legal trouble? In that case, we should be able to get the same free legal representation. All laws clearly state that non citizens charged with civil offenses do not have a right to legal representation. Wilcox said in a statement, yet we have radical anti border groups starting these programs and sticking unknowing citizens with the bill. It's outrageous. The Vera Institute of Justice, a progressive nonprofit based in New York City, has served as the main catalyst for the proliferation of the program. The report says Vera provides one-time grants to localities to kickstart the programs with an aim of making these programs permanent. Taxpayers are then often forced to pick up the tab. I don't think that that's right. And I'm not trying to spread hatred. I don't think that's right. Being that I'm reading this article, I think that maybe we should start putting some stuff on the ballots, getting some people that, agree with what's written in the Constitution and start enacting the rights, you know. Philadelphia Mayor Kim Kennedy announced the creation of the city's program, the Pennsylvania Immigration Family Unity Project, in 2019. It launched with 100,000 from city taxpayers and another 200,000 from Vera and the Samuel S. Fells Fund. IRLI found that officials in Philadelphia admitted that they administered no oversight over its deportation defense program, despite funding it with hundreds of thousands of taxpayers' dollars, while the program was almost cut in 2020 as Bud Light put financial strain on government budgets. The city's leader ultimately decided to not only continue the program but to double taxpayers' commitment to 200,000 for the next fiscal year, the report says. Now look, y'all, we need to definitely go out, not protest, but we need to be going to these meetings. We need to start putting these things on the ballots. If these people are not going to listen, then we need to start voting these folks out. All it takes is for a lot of, I guess they said 10,000 votes or something like that to get that person up out of there. If they're not going to stop doing this, because all that money could be put towards helping the homeless, the American citizens that are homeless here in America. Meanwhile, the program has no eligibility criteria other than income and a lack of private counsel, okay, and does not exclude individuals based on prior criminal evictions, residency, or any other reason, okay? You can go to their website. Meanwhile, Vera has set a goal of universal representation for individuals in immigration court. The organization told Fox News that providing legal representation to immigrants is widely supported and in line with our most fundamental shared American values. No, it's not. You speaking for yourself. We did not agree to that. So I don't like when people get up there and talk to 5 people and say the American people agree. That's like me saying that who's the person? The lady I love her so much, Lovely T. I love her. She is so bomb. Um, Not like that, but I'm talking about her content, her engagement, everything that she does. I just love her. Um, that's like me saying I spoke to Lovely T about something and I did something and I said, well, everybody agreed. She'll be like, no, you just spoke to me. How's it that everybody agreed? She's the type of person, she'll call you out. I like it. She'll call you out on your poop. But anyway, I tried to give an analogy. Maybe that didn't work. Anyway, the organization, I already read that. No one should appear in immigration court without a lawyer, especially when the consequences include possible deportation and separation from one's family and community. I want to speak on that. Does anybody care when an American citizen is put in jail and separated from his family, his job, his community, his children? Nobody cares when an American citizen is separated. But it seems like it's such a big deal when you have people that should not be here in the first place become separated from their families. Why do they get more precedence over American citizens? People, we need to get out here and start reading these books and find out how much money they are taking out of each taxpayer and start demanding that they stop using our money for people that do not belong here. It's not hatred. It's not right. Because if you go to another country and you try to do the same thing, you're going to be put out. It's just that simple. Go ask someone from any other country. Sit down and have a real conversation. What would happen? You'll get thrown out. You'll get put out. Well, what if I bought a house? You'll still get thrown out. Well, what if I have family here and I can't? You still have to go. That's y'all laws in America. That's not our laws here. That's exactly what they would say. America does that, not us. And that's what we have to stop thinking that everybody do the same thing America does. They don't. Why do you think we have separate beliefs? Why do you think we have separate values, separate, everything, the way we do things separately from every other person in the country? There are certain things that we do here you can't do in other countries. If you steal over in Dubai, you may not have any fingers left. Matter of fact, you may not even have an arm. If you assault a woman or a child or a person in adult manners, if you get what I'm saying, over in Indian countries, a male may wake up and transition without even wanting to, if you get what I'm saying. He won't have that anymore. It will not be attached to his body anymore. There are countries that will not stand for you doing a lot of the things like how the takeovers are happening. They wouldn't dare do that in their country. Not only would they take their cars, there may be other harsher punishments for it. So I'm not saying go overboard, but I'm saying all this leniency that's going on, it needs to stop. It needs to stop, and people need to be held accountable for their actions. So if you tell somebody they're wrong, they will blow up on you for no reason. And it seems like they've been turned over to a reprobated mind where no matter what you tell them that is right, they can't comprehend that right because that wrong has now dominated to become right to them. You can't disagree with people. Like I said early on, if you disagree or try to tell somebody why you feel the way you feel, they will basically attack you. When did we get this way? Why are we this way? Why? It was a time that you could say, well, I don't like your views. Okay, well, guess what? I said what I said. We can agree to disagree. And we can go on and still eat our little lunch. Not today. They all up in your face. You like, hey, I'm giving you a second to back up. Get up out of my space. And because they got this bully mentality, they press the issue, and then you have to protect yourself and your space. Now they're sitting there dazed and confused because you turned them around. You spun them around in a circle, or they decided to take a nap because they got all up in your space and tried to disrespect you in the worst way. You have people that get mad at you because they don't like what you say, how you look, and they spit in your face. And they call you derogatory names that's not on your birth certificate. Your mom and your daddy didn't name you those names. So these are the times that we're in, where people use violence as a means of disagreement. I think that when you do stuff like that, even if there's video proof, like the lady that spit in that woman's face in that hotel, I think that old woman should serve 5 years in prison. That old lady that spit in that little black boy face, I believe she should spend 5 years in prison and pay restitution to his family for the whole 5 years. Make her sit her butt in there and do some anti-prejudice classes. Give her a job. Tell her she can't just sit there. Give her a job. Give them a job. All those people that are prejudiced and that have acted out in prejudices. Even the people that are in law enforcement, politicians, doctors, nurses, lawyers, wherever you are, judges, wherever you are. If you are prejudiced, you need to be removed, disbarred, fired, and you need to have mandatory counseling as to why you are so prejudiced. You don't need to work anywhere where there are going to be people coming in and out, or you're going to be interacting with the public. You don't need a job at all whatsoever if you're going to be that way. Period. Because once they find out that you are indeed prejudiced, one act, you are gone. No tolerance. Instead of us being labeled African Americans, why can't we just be Americans? White American, why can't we just be American? Asian American, why can't we just be Americans if we are here legally the right way? Not the ones, and I'm not trying to be rude, not you illegal and you drop a baby on American soil. No, you were not legal, so neither is your child. It should not be that easy for you to become a legal citizen. No, you may not know your country, but you should have different rules when you do that. Not to make you stand out and be like picked on, but there should be requirements. Even if your child was born on American soil, there should be requirements. You should not be able to get benefits. You should not be able to have any type of governmental assistance at all, because some people knew coming across that border and dropping a baby would cost, that would how would you say it would allow them to get money, housing, medical, food services, everything. I don't think that that's right. If America stops doing that, the amount of illegal immigrants that tries to fluctuate into our country will come to a halt. And we can focus on more important things like the homeless, people that are suffering from cancer and HIV, autism, domestic abuse and violence, predatory folks, if you get what I'm saying. We can focus on that kind of stuff. After school programs, job training and skills and things of that nature. Opening up more businesses, not worrying about somebody breaking into your homes, because we will implement harsher harsher punishments for those people. And the people that cry when their loved ones are caught, think about it. What if you were the victim and it wasn't your child? You wouldn't care. You'd be like, how dare you talk about, oh, my baby, when your baby did this and that and the third to my family member. So put yourself in the other person's position. If your son broke into my house and beat me up and injured one of my pets, and we go to court, you're like, no, not my child. So what if I broke in your home, injured you, and injured your pet? You'd be like, lock her up, throw away the key. So y'all need to start thinking. And that's real talk. So let me finish. And he said no one should appear in court without a lawyer. And then he was talking about people being separated from their family and community. The statement added, it's the government's responsibility to protect fundamental rights, health, and security of everyone in our communities, including immigrants who are targeted by our expanding federal enforcement system. So, no, I don't agree. And I'm not disagreeing in a negative way. I don't agree that they should be utilizing services. As I said before, I want to look up the illegal immigration laws for different countries and see what we come up with. And this is not for hatred. Please do not. I'm begging you with everything in my heart. Please do not target anybody that's an illegal immigrant. Please don't do that. But we need to stop being forced to pay for their lifestyle. And I understand that they came here, as they say, this is what they say, for a better way of life. But if you come here, do it the right way. Especially if you are truly an asylum seeker, then I wouldn't mind you being here because your life is in imminent danger. But if you are using that excuse just to come here not to work and to get free stuff, then I have no sympathy. Because there are plenty of people that are probably real true life asylum seekers, and you're taking up space. And one of the other things that I think that we need to do is start voting and putting on the ballot. You have a lot of people that's coming from different countries saying that they are asylum seekers, but every chance they get, they're at the border, going back across the border to their home country, showing off with the things that they got, making phone calls, sending money, sending gifts, taking trips out there to them. There's no way you are an asylum seeker if you are back in the country that you said that you're running from for your life. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something to think about for yourself, not to go out there and act a fool, but we need to start coming together and agreeing on voting these things out of office that are not benefiting us, because all those millions and billions of dollars, like I said, could be put to use to help American citizens that very much so need it. Some American citizens can't even, they make $1 over poverty and they can't even get food stamps or Medi-Cal. They can't even get housing. They can't get anything. But you have people that have never put anything in our country, and they get every benefit there is to man. And that's not cool, you guys. That's not cool. It's not cool at all. It's a slap in each and every one of our faces. It's a swift kick in our pants. And you have people that are in government positions that are making millions of dollars, and that's not affecting them because they don't have to live with the stuff that we're living with. So I just wanted to, pretty much say that. There was other things that I wanted to say, but I don't want to make this video too long. And I don't want them to say that I'm being prejudiced or I'm spreading hate or anything like that, because I would never sit up here and outright tell you to go do something to anyone or anybody. I'm not that person. So you got me messed up. But with that being said, you guys, let me click on this so I can come down off of the screen. Okay. Yeah, so with that being said, you guys, it's never my intention to be nasty and mean and rude. It's never my intention to spread hatred or anything that's going to cause somebody to be discomforted. I'm not that person, and I'm not going to participate in that kind of behavior. I will speak my mind. I will speak what I feel is my truth. And it may not be the absolute truth to anybody else, but I'm speaking what I believe to be my own truth. And I will not spread hatred. I will not spread misinformation. If I make a mistake, don't ding me, don't report me, don't strike me. Ask me, what did I mean by that? And if you ask me, I'll be like, I didn't mean it the way it sounded. It's just the way some words I have a hard time articulating, especially when I'm trying to talk, and it may come out the wrong way. And it's not for me to sit here and talk evil or mad or bad about anyone. See, just like I just did that. Sometimes I mess up words, and my family knows when I'm talking to them. Sometimes I will screw up a word and they will laugh, like, oh, girl, I get what you're trying to say. But everybody is not my family, so everybody won't get what I'm trying to say. you know so that's why I'm putting all these disclaimers in here. This is not to spread hatred, misinformation. This is not to target anyone. This is not to bully, harass, or anything. This is not to violate any of the YouTube community guidelines at all whatsoever. I'm saying this with my own mouth. It is not. So before YouTube gets a hold of this video, if somebody gets upset, hear me well. This is not to violate any YouTube community guideline. You have not heard me yell, scream, holler, cuss, none of that. Point the finger. You haven't heard this video do any of that. And it's a sad shame that we have to do these disclaimers over and over and over and over so people won't get into their fifis, as Bronsberg say, your fifis. So with that being said, you guys, remember, stay positive, you guys, because why? You're all beautiful, okay? And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.